So here's how it usually goes. I walk into the Rosen's unlocked house, and Nita makes me some sort of sandwich. If I'm lucky, it is some pressed chicken with hummus, and the bread isn't more than 2 days old. I mean, Nita knows me better than that. I wheel Harold to the table before pouring myself a glass of the last of their orange juice. I mean, that's on them. They know I'm going to come by. I eat my sandwich and regale Harold with some story of a woman who doesn't want anything to do with me. At first, Nita pretended not to pay attention, but now she makes herself a cup of coffee and finds a comfortable place to sit and listen. I can't blame her. Who doesn't love a taste of someone else's misery in the middle of the afternoon? I then wheel Harold back to his spot in front of the computer, kiss him on the forehead, making sure not to kiss him where Handelman might have kissed him, put his baseball cap back on, and head towards the door. Just before I reach the door, I turn back and say, "You need anything?" And then Harold says, "We're good." That's how it usually goes. It works for me. This time I say, "You need anything?" And Harold says, "Actually, I need a favor." I do an about turn. Sometimes he needs his one leg lifted over the other in a certain way. I mean, it usually takes me 7 or 8 tries to get it right. I mean, you'd think he'd learn. So I say, "What do you need?" And I'm looking down to see what leg needs crossing, but it isn't a leg. And this is what he says. "I want you to go to Yorkdale with me so I can buy Gilly a new mattress for her birthday." Yorkdale's a shopping center. I imagine it's a little bit what hell might be like, although I suspect hell has better parking. "You want me to go mattress shopping tomorrow at Yorkdale?" And Harold says, "Yes, you'd be doing me a big favor." And I can see Nita fighting a smile. She's enjoying this. She's saying to herself, "That's right, come over and drink the last of our orange juice." I arrive at the Rosens the next day at the appointed time. This is what you can say about me. There's always an even chance I don't show up, but if I do show up, it's going to be on time. I walk in the door and pray that Jonathan has shown up to take my place. And John is the next door neighbor, and he's a good friend. He's the resident handyman and go-to fixer for these type of things, but no such luck. Harold is waiting for me in the hall. He's freshly shaved, he's wearing his Shabbos clothes, and he says, "This is going to be fun." For the first time in my life, I think of striking a man in a wheelchair. It takes me a few tries to get the wheelchair up the ramp into the van. I finally figure out I have to back it in. Harold, of course, knows this, but all of a sudden his MS has affected his tongue. Not a word out of his mouth. I strap him in as best as I can. It doesn't seem right. It's like building an IKEA bookshelf and having 20 leftover pieces. I give the wheelchair a shake. "Is this secure?" I ask. He says it's good. It doesn't feel good. I curse Jonathan. I close the van door and shuffle towards the driver's door. A blast of wind hits my face. It's freezing. That makes sense. It's February in Toronto. I reopen the sliding van door. Harold's not wearing a coat. "You're not wearing a coat," I say. "I don't need a coat," he replies. "It's February," I say. "We're going to the underground parking. We have a handicap sticker. We're going to park right next to the elevator. We're going to take the elevator to the store. I don't need a coat." Once a lawyer, always a lawyer. Now, with my luck, I'm pushing the wheelchair in the mattress department of the Bay, and we run into somebody we know. Word gets back I took Harold to Yorkdale without a coat. I need that like I need a hole in the head. I say, "Wait here." He says, "Where am I going to go?" Once a comic. I go back to the house and find what I think is a blanket. Later, I would realize it's a rug, but that was later. I grab it, open the sliding door, and wrap it around Harold's shoulder. It's not great, but would have to do. I ease the van out of the driveway and head towards Yorkdale. I should take the Allen Expressway, but I don't feel all that comfortable driving the van. Plus, I have a handicapped religious Jew wrapped in what I later learn is a Persian rug tethered unsecurely in my back seat. So I take the side roads. Side roads have a lot of stop signs. I think a big van like this requires a hefty stomp on the brakes in order for it to come to a full stop, but it turns out the brakes are hair trigger. Every stop sign, Harold and his chair lurch all the way into the front seat. It's like a ride at the amusement park. I curse Jonathan under my breath. I finally get the hang of the brakes, but by then we're already in the parking lot. Harold was right. Perfect spot, right next to the elevator. I open the sliding door. Harold says, "It's a good thing I'm already paralyzed." He's having the time of his life. Only thing which would make it better for him is if I threw up. I can't figure out the strap. All of a sudden, it's more secure than Alcatraz. I think about just cutting it with my Swiss Army knife. I think about just abandoning him here in the parking lot. And then the clasp just unclicks, and we are both free. The elevator takes us right to the mattress department of the bay. We have a place to ourselves. A saleswoman makes her way to us, very slowly. She's a short, gray-haired woman with wire-rimmed glasses hanging on her neck. She's not a young woman. She looks like she may have been here since the store opened. Hell, she looks like she may have been here since mattresses were invented. Her name tag says Marge. She asks if she can help. I say, "My friend," and I point to Harold, is in the market for a mattress. Now, Harold has done his research. He wants a queen-size Sealy firm. Marge says she has just a thing, and it's on sale. Please follow me. I get behind Harold, unhook the safety lock, and start pushing. Marge is walking so slowly that I twice have to stop suddenly for fear of clipping her heels. "Here we are," she says, "the Sealy Performa, queen size. And it's on sale." Harold wants to know if it's firm. He wants it firm. Gilly likes a firm mattress. Marge says it's firm. Harold now says to me, "Lie on it. Tell me if it's firm." "You want me to lie on it?" Harold says yes. So I slip off my shoes and lie on the mattress. I'm staring at the ceiling of the mattress department at the bay. I get off the mattress and put my shoes back on. Harold asks if it was firm. I couldn't really tell. I want to get the hell out of the mattress department at the bay, so I say, yeah, it was firm. And I can see Harold is not convinced, but he says, okay. Then Marge decides this is a good time to kick me in the balls. She says, you really should lie on it yourself. After all, you'll be sleeping in it. And Harold says, that's not a bag idea. That's not a typo there. Harold likes to say bag instead of bad. He thinks it's funny. I look at Marge. She doesn't look strong enough to lift her glasses. I look at Harold. I curse Jonathan. Marge, to her credit, has picked up on my panic. She says, let me call Hector from shipping. She reaches for the phone. Harold looks up at me. He's smiling. This, he says, is going to be fun. Marge says, how are you going to pay? And Harold says, Visa. His wallet is in his back pocket. It still has his old driver's license. 33% off. Marge wasn't kidding about the sale. Marge asks if we want to take it with us or have it delivered. Delivery's $50 extra. I say delivery. I may have shouted. Marge says fine. Then she whispers conspiratorially, I'm going to waive the delivery charge. She's given us the wheelchair discount. I'm going to take Harold car shopping with me next time. Addresses are preferred, signatures are scribbled. I can see the light at the end of the proverbial tunnel. Marge gives us a smile and gleefully claps her hands. Perfect. Delivery on the 15th. Do you prefer 10 to 12 or 2 to 4? Now, I don't know a lot of people's birthdays, but I do know Gilly's because it's on Valentine's Day, and that's the 14th. So I say the 15th is no good. His wife's birthday's on the 14th. Has to be the 14th. Marge looks at her ledger. She looks at it for a long time. For a minute there, I think she may have fallen asleep or died. She looks up and has a very sad face. There are no trucks on the 14th, but hold on. Well, I guess maybe I can get it to you after the last run. It will arrive just after 8 p.m. Still no delivery charge. Marge is now very happy with herself until Harold says, no, we'll take it now. I turn to argue, but I can see his face. It's the same face he has when I ask if it's okay if I use a milk dish with my burger. He isn't going to be convinced. I take Marge aside and tell her we're going to need Hector again. Now, those of you who know me have figured out I've already tipped Hector $50 for helping lift Harold out of the chair, onto the mattress, back on the chair, and back on the mattress because he just wanted to make sure one more time if it was firm enough, and then back on the chair. So yeah, Hector is up 50 and he's about to be up 50 more. I get Harold back into the van and we meet Hector at the loading dock. Harold says, "Hey, Hector," and Hector says, "Hey, Mr. Harold." Meanwhile, I'm freezing my ass off. Hector explains how he intends to tie the mattress on the roof of the van. I nod my head, but he could be explaining string theory. I hand him another 50, and now I'm Hector's assistant for the next 20 minutes. After 5 minutes, Hector understands he has to talk to me like a 5-year-old. But we get the mattress on. I can't feel my toes, but we get the mattress on. I have no idea how we're going to get it off the roof, but that's not on me. That's on Jonathan. I'm done. I take the side streets home. I jam the brakes at every stop sign. We eventually get back to Harold's house. And I would pull into the driveway, but I can't. Because there's a truck in the driveway from Sleep Country, Canada. The mattress store. Seems like Gilly bought herself a new mattress for her birthday.
Yorkdale was originally published by Tumbleweed Press in Almost the Truth. It was narrated by the author, music by The Nearly Missed, and Jerome Reppel.